Hey guys, Sean here and welcome to the F1 Word. For today's video, I want to talk a little bit about McLaren and Honda and the possibility of them two splitting, and also about Fernando Alonso and his options for 2018. Now, this is going to be full of my opinion. I have got a little bit of a theory in there, which just bear with me on. There is a little bit of interest and fact in there. And possibly it could work. I'd love to see it work. I think it's more heart than head, but we shall see. So what will McLaren do for 2018? Options are stick with Honda, or obviously switch engine. The problem is the only other option for them is Mercedes. I can't ever see Ferrari and McLaren doing a deal. If you think of all the trouble they've had down the years, the rivalry on track, off track, Spygate, for example, can you really see them two sitting in a room together and come up with an engine deal? No. So it'll be Honda or Mercedes for 2018. As every weekend goes on, it's pretty much a case of Honda just becoming more of a joke within the sport, and it's making McLaren look stupid as well. So it's likely they'll ditch Honda at the end of the season. There are rumours that maybe they'll go away for a year, possibly two, McLaren with another partner, maybe Mercedes, and allow Honda time working with Sauber to get that engine up to scratch, which is a little bit of a slap in the face for Honda, but I think even the Japanese outfit would probably admit that they need to do something, and McLaren can't keep lingering around at the back of the field, so something has to be done. Renault, they are an option, I guess, but have they really built an engine or power unit, whatever you want to call it, that's capable of winning Grand Prix? Okay, Ricciardo won in Baku, but he got very lucky with things around going on around him. We're not going to get into that, of course. I just can't see Renault being an option for McLaren for 2018, or Alonso, but I'll come to that in just a moment. The other option available from Mercedes' point of view, because if you think Mercedes, they're fighting really, really hard with Ferrari, and they'll be fighting next year as well. Do they really want to give a team like McLaren the best power? They wouldn't do it for Red Bull. They wouldn't give Red Bull an engine, so why would they want to give McLaren an engine? Because that takes points off Mercedes should McLaren, as they've said themselves, start winning races with the right power unit. It's an intriguing one. Obviously, there is the possibility that they could get a year-old engine. I can't see McLaren go for a deal like that. They'd want to be on some sort of parity with Mercedes, I would imagine. However, with respect, you'd have to say a year-old, possibly even a 2-year-old Mercedes engine is far better than a current up-to-date spec Honda engine. And that's me trying to put that as nicely as possible for poor old Honda. I'm sure they're trying hard, but it's just not working out at all, is it? So I think it looks like McLaren will switch to Mercedes for next year. Whether it'll be a permanent deal, I don't know. I can't see long-term Mercedes wanting McLaren to be up there with the same power unit, and I can't see it suiting McLaren's aspirations either. They want to be a works team, unless, of course, as the rumours were a few weeks ago, Mercedes decide to pull out the sport in the next year or two, and then maybe we'll go back to the days when McLaren become a Mercedes works team. But I think, putting my opinion on it, final one on this bit, I think they will be running Mercedes engines next year. I'd be very surprised to stick with Honda. It may only be a temporary deal, but McLaren needs to do something. They're just rooted to the bottom of the championship, and it's just wholly unacceptable for a team steeped in that history and that success and all those championships with one of the best drivers in the world to be fighting each other and just fighting to keep going on track every weekend. So I think they will go to Mercedes for 2018. So what does all that mean for Fernando Alonso then? Well, in my honest opinion, if McLaren stick with Honda in 2018, 100% sure that Fernando Alonso will move on. If they decide to twist and go to Mercedes, he probably will stay. But that doesn't guarantee he will stay. He's already talking about there being some surprises next year. He's already looking at decisions, many options out there as well. Could make a decision by the end of the summer break. And if a decision hasn't been made by McLaren, that could force Alonso's hand. So where can he go? Now, everyone's talking about Mercedes. Everyone's talking about Ferrari. Bottas is out of contract at the end of the year. Vettel and Raikkonen out of contract at the end of the year at Ferrari as well. Mercedes, no. Hamilton will stay 100%. And I think it would be really harsh, whoever is coming up, to ditch Bottas. He has been consistent and he has definitely done enough to warrant a second year with the Silver Arrows. So I can't see that happening. Ferrari, big no. Again, they ended on bad terms, really bad terms. Vettel will stay. Raikkonen will leave, probably to retire. Vettel is number one driver at Ferrari and is long-term number one driver at Ferrari. He has that veto over his teammate. He is not going to want Fernando Alonso there. It's as simple as that. So Ferrari are a no, and Red Bull, Christian Horner has already said absolutely no. There is no room for Fernando Alonso, given all the usual, we respect him, we like him, he's a great driver, it'd be great to have on board, but no. So that's it. The top three teams are completely locked down. As far, they'll still be talking about Mercedes and Ferrari, but I just don't see it happening, and Red Bull have also said no. So Renault are the next works team. It's possible. But Alonso has said he wants to be winning in 2018 and won't gamble on a seat. But are Renault realistically good enough to win in 2018? I'm going to say no. They've got a good car. It's a good car. They've got a great driver in Nico Hülkenberg, who, he should have been in the top team a long time ago. And there's no doubt at all that Renault will become a race-winning team again, but 2018 is far too soon, and I just can't see that happening. So is Alonso going to go there? That's a gamble. He said he wouldn't gamble. So that's a gamble. I just don't see it happening. So where? This is the big question that everyone's asking. Where does he go? Here is my little theory. Stick with me on this, okay? Williams. Yes, you heard me. I said Williams. Although they're not in a position to compete for wins this year, if Alonso were to come in, that could change for 2018. He alone is worth a heck of a lot of lap time, and Williams have got that Mercedes engine that Alonso is desperate to work with. Massa is only in for a year. Williams wants an experienced driver to put alongside Lance Stroll. Alonso could fit in quite nicely there. Williams have got that title-winning pedigree and are capable of building very good cars, and they've got a very good team behind the scenes as well. And I genuinely believe if you put Fernando Alonso in that car this weekend, in the Williams, this weekend in Austria, he could drag that onto the podium. I genuinely do believe that because he's got that talent. His raw talent is there, and that is what you need. And we've seen it through Formula One history. If you've got the speed, you can get on that podium, you can win races. And I do believe it. I really, really do. I mean, look at what he's done for McLaren when that Honda engine has allowed him to. It's been incredible. It's a big call and a really odd theory. It's not been mentioned a lot, I know, but Fernando himself has said there are more options out there and there are some surprises. So maybe, just maybe, I think it's more likely my heart ruling my head, but just maybe Fernando Alonso at Williams. What a story that would be. What do you guys think? It's an interesting one. However, as I've said 100 times in this video, it all comes down to what McLaren decide for 2018. For me, if they switch engines and get themselves a full-spec Merc, Alonso will stay, definitely. But if they stick with Honda, 100% he'll go. It's as simple as that, and I think he'll go to Williams. Honestly, I really do. I mean, with the big three locked out and Renault's engine nowhere near ready to win, where else is there? Sauber? Not really. Is there Force India? I can't see that either. So that is my call. Once again, just to summarise, if McLaren go with Mercedes, Alonso will stay. If they go and stay with Honda, Alonso will leave and probably go to Williams. But what do you guys think? It's got everyone talking over the last few weeks and months. It's an interesting topic, and there are so many twists and turns possible all the way along. It's not as cut and dry as many driver deals have been in the past. So it is an interesting one. But do let me know. What am I on about? Do let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think on Fernando Alonso and McLaren's situation. But as ever, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word. And until next time, goodbye.